Channel and welcome to a tour of Emerald Valley Logging. So, they say logging maps are like buses. You wait ages for one to come along and then three come along at once. Well, not three, but we do have a second logging map really quickly released after Smoky Mountain. So, once again, this is by the same team that created Smoky Mountain. So let's take a look at Emerald Valley. So, straight away, as you spawn in, you'll notice that it's a bit greener on this map. A bit different in terms of the setting and the location. This is actually a much bigger logging map, as you can see. The map uses up a lot more of the area. It still doesn't use the full area because a lot of it's taken up by scenery, but it's still a huge logging map. And if you liked logging on the last one, it'll take you forever to log on this one because there are just so many trees. An insane number of trees. So let's take a quick look at an overview. So we have this huge lake here. This is Dakatan Lake. Absolutely massive lake, just dominates, half of the map over here. And then we have multiple staging areas and multiple logging setup areas. So we have 5 on this lower island here. And then we have a bridge, sort of a little gully just across here, which connects you to the second sort of part of the area, where you have another 5 logging areas going over a huge bridge here to get to the final area. We have Kitson Creek, which kind of just runs way below these mountains here and just kind of separates the land out. You can actually drive down here in places, but it's a bit tricky, and you certainly don't want to do it in a pickup truck because you will bottom out. And then we have Emerald Cove just over here, and all of these brown areas here that you can see, these are all heavily dense areas of trees. So it is possible to actually get to all of these areas. Some of them you'll have to do on foot, some you can get to by vehicle. You can drive a vehicle very carefully across here to get to this part, and this is so thickly populated with trees that you're really going to struggle with anything larger than a small tractor and a small trailer. And it is possible to actually get across the water just here as well in a couple of places. So definitely be wary of that. And then down here are our main areas. So we have our main starting area where again we have a barn, we have a sell point, we have a sawmill, we have a silo, a fuel point and a shop, same as before, and we now have a biogas plant, and this is a big biogas plant. So let's take a quick look here. So the barn is the barn. It's pretty straightforward. Just drive through to drop off any straw, hay, grass, etc. that you may have. You also have your refuel point over there. There's our pickup truck, just parked up by the side there. And then we have our sawmill. So as before, we have a sell point inside this concrete area for your logs. And we also have a a wood chip point just around the corner as well. And then we have this here, this ramped area just here, and this is a mill pond. So you throw your wood off the end here and you will get paid. Let's grab a tree as a quick demonstration. There's our wood chip point just there, as you can see. Let's cut this tree down. There we go. Just clean her up. We don't need the full tree, we just need a portion of it just to show the lumber pond, the mill pond in action. There we go. And we can carry this piece, so let's lift that up. As we make our way through these log piles, there's our ramp. So this is going to make selling wood a lot easier. So you literally drive up to the end and then tip your logs off the end. there's your payday. So we have a mill pond, which is awesome. In terms of equipment, we get pretty much exactly the same that we did with the last one. Oh, there's the shop just over there at Morgan's Massive Motors and our silos. We start again with the Sampo Rosenlu HR46 tree cutter. We also have the Sampo Rosenlu Comia C6. We have a Valtra with a small 2-meter plough, a Great Plains Cedar, a small Brantner trailer, and then over here again we have the red Valtra with the logging trailer from Stepper. So let's leave the trailer behind and let's go take a little drive around. So first off, we're going to peel right. And we're going to head down to our BGA. And this thing is huge as well. Absolutely huge. I mean, it's all very compactly laid out, but pretty straightforward over here. There's our shredder. There's our slurry tank just over there for digestate. And look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bunker clamps. 8 bunkers for making silage. That's huge. I mean, you're going to have to put a lot of work into filling this place up completely. A huge amount of work. But yeah, there we go. 8 clamps at the BGA. So let's head right, and you'll notice just how thickly dense this forestry area is, as the trees don't load in fully until they get really close to try and help cut down performance issues. But just look how thickly dense and vastly populated this area is with trees. It's just absolutely covered. If I just jump out for a second and have a run through here, it's like this all the way through. I mean, you can see just how thick this area is with trees, and it's like this pretty much everywhere on the map. Really, really heavily populated. There is so much wood on this map that it will take you an eternity to claim every single tree. So a definite challenge for those of you who like to actually clear all the trees off the map. This will take you, a very, very long time. So we're going to head up to sort of stage area number 5. And this road is really nice to drive on. It's really, quite bump free. Nice sort of stone gravel kind of texture. And here we go. This is staging area number 5, and once again you can see absolutely surrounded by a really heavy, thick number of trees. Absolutely dominating this area. One thing to note, you will suffer from a little bit of lag if you get too close to some of the trees, and that can't be helped just simply because of the sheer number of them. It's not too noticeable, and it doesn't happen all the time, but it is something to be wary of, that there are going to be situations on this map where you are going to get a little bit of lag from time to time, and that's simply unavoidable due to the sheer number of trees that we have to work with on this map. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty comfortable. So we're back here at the start, so now we're going to break off to the left instead, and we'll go check out the second half of this lower setting. Just see just how thick this area is with trees. There's so much wood to be harvested in this area, to be cut down. You have some trees that are at weird angles. I haven't found any that have fallen over across roads or anything like that. But here is staging area number 3. Like so. And again, you can see just how many trees there are. And it just gets, it gets like this at pretty much every single one of these staging points, just surrounded by a really dense area of trees. Oh, missed my turn. So now we're going to branch off and hit area number 1. And some of these are really nice areas, actually. They're quite big, they're quite flat. So these are ideal for obviously building some kind of depot, you know, a storage area, loading area, whatever you want to put in here. You could even put in something like a sawmill, placeable. Build your own sawmill with wood chippers that will sell directly, kind of thing. You know, there's plenty of scope for what to do in those, but you could also turn them into some kind of field if you wanted to, and run some product that way. I mean, obviously we do start with a combine. And again, just look how beautiful this map is as well. It's such a beautiful looking map. There are some really, really stunning scenes that you can make just by looking around and going off the beaten path a little bit. So here we are. Here is area number 2. Again, a really good sized area. And if I just sort of drive up a little bit here, you can see it gets really steep in a couple of places on this map as well. Look how much you fall away and how quickly you fall away. So you still have that nice sort of variety of terrain, you know, lots of different heights to work with, lots of different angles, just like we did on Smoky Mountain. So now we're going to hang a left here. There we go. And we're going to head down through this little gulch and make our way to the second half of the map. So this water is very, very steep as before. So you can see how quickly it falls away. I mean, we saw it just there for a second. See, look how quickly that ground falls away. So you will definitely lose your tractor if you try and drive in there and have to reset it. So we're going to start here with logging 6, and on this side of the map things are a little bit different. You know, there's a lot more grass. There's not always the same amount of trees in some places. In other places, it's absolutely teeming. Now there is the gulch that you can see just there in the background. There is Kitsing Creek, and we'll come back to Kitsing Creek in just a moment. We'll continue to hit the logging points first. As we move around here to number 7, again, it's just the way things are loading in. So the way the shadows just kind of load in, and the trees get more and more detailed as you get closer to them. It's an effective way of combating, you know, too much lag on the system by not rendering things in, you know, properly until you get really close to them. So here's logging area number 8. Ooh, excuse me if you can hear my stomach growling. I haven't had my breakfast yet. There we go. That's area number 8. Again, nice little small area, but good enough to do the job. I'm going to hit a hill again. And I like how it gets nice and muddy towards the bottom there, and then, you know, it gets a little bit drier again as we move away. That's a nice little touch, that. And here is area number 9. Again, it's a decent sized, small little staging area, nothing massive, but absolutely surrounded by a ton of trees. And trees off in all directions. So don't forget, as I said, all of these brown areas here, these are all areas that are very thick with tree. So you've got all of this area all the way down here, all the way up here as well. It's just absolutely surrounded by a huge number of trees for you to cut down. You'll never run out of things to do on this map. You know, there's so many trees to cut down. You know, you probably won't need to do a replant. can just play this once and spend several days trying to cut everything down. And when I say several days, I mean non-stop 24-hour gaming sessions, several days. So there's a lot of life in this map for all you lumberjacks out there. Right, so now we're going to head up to the final staging area, Area 10, and this one is up in the mountains. So you can see we're just climbing and climbing all the way as we go along here. And we come to the bridge. And look how high up we are compared to where we were a moment ago. We're above the top of the trees now. That's how high up we are. And this here is the entrance to Kitson Creek. So you can see it feeds off of Dakotan Lake into Kitson Creek and then runs down there. And it is drivable down most of it, but not necessarily all of it. And here is our final logging area, area number 10. And again, we have this nice flat piece of ground that we can place buildings on, place equipment on, even turn into a field if we wanted to. Not quite so many trees in close proximity to the area itself, but you do have this ridge up here, and of course lousy with trees up there, absolutely teeming with them. So as you can see, all of those trees up there, you can cut all of those down as well. You know, there's absolutely loads to do. So let's make our way back to Kitson Creek. Now the easiest way for us to do that would be to sort of just kind of run down the side, but what I want to do is actually drive us back across to sort of staging area 7, and we'll hit the creek at that point there. It also gives you another chance to just fully appreciate just how beautiful this map is. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, I loved the look of the last map. I thought it was really, really nice. Quite a compact little map, but I thought it worked really, really well. This one is just huge in comparison, and it's absolutely beautiful. Some amazing views that you can make if you go and stand in off the beaten path and just position your camera. You can get some really, really nice, stunning kind of vistas to look at. So here we are at Kitson Creek. So we can actually drive through this. I wouldn't bring a pickup down here because it will bottom out. It gets so bumpy down here that it's going to get beached. But a tractor will manage this pretty much fine. A truck may have some issues depending on its wheelbase. But as we drive down Kitson Creek, you can see that the water's at different kind of heights and levels depending on how deep into the bumps you are. And it gets very bumpy towards the end. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little explore over here, just to show you some of the land around Emerald Cove. So let's try and get in close so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. Put the beacons on for this. And here is Emerald Cove, and again, let's just take a look at how much extra wood there is to work with. So all the way along here, I mean, look how close these trees are. They're so tight against each other. And then across the other side of the cove as well, look at all these trees up over here. You've even got trees all the way at the top there, and they're going to be a fun one to get to. And all the way over the other side of the cove, it's just absolutely amazing how much there is, you know, to cut down on this map. It's incredible. I honestly didn't think we'd be able to get a map this heavily forested. And this is why I was saying don't try coming down here in your pickup, because look how uneven and bumpy the ground is and how we are struggling. Really struggling just to stay, to stay upright in places. Now, there are a couple of spots where you can actually drive through. I think this is one of them. There we go. And we're going to go around the side here. And we're going to cross over just here, because there's a nice little bit here we can cross over on. Again, I wouldn't really try it on the other side because it can fall away quite quickly and you just don't want to risk getting your equipment stuck. There we go. It's a real struggle in places, but you can get across. So let's see if we can fight our way through these trees. Having shown you all of the different sort of 10 staging areas and everything else, I just want to show you one other point, which is the opposite side of Emerald Cove. So we need to be going this way. And you can make your way through here with a tractor. It gets very tight in places, it really does. And as I said, you will get your pickup stuck if you try and do this. I tried, I got my pickup stuck. In fact, I'm just going to leave the tractor there for this point and just walk through and look at this forest. Just look at all these different trees that we have in here, the different heights, all these rocky outcroppings. And it's just so heavily populated. Look how close these things are. So you're going to have a real challenge getting into this area here. And not just getting into here, but retrieving the logs as well. Around the back here where it flattens out a little bit as you get higher up. But around the edge of the lake, then yeah, it starts to get very, very crowded in some places. So there we go. This is Emerald Valley Logging. So what do you guys think? It's a massive, massive map in comparison to the last one that we had, to Smoky Mountain. So many more trees to work with. A really beautiful setting. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a bit of logging, because I'm doing a bit on some of my farms already, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a logging map, but this is really making me consider, you know, running a logging let's play. I mean, it's such a big map though that it would take me forever to do any work on it. So maybe not this one. Maybe this one will trigger me to work onto Smoky Mountain instead. But it's an absolutely stunning map. It really is so beautiful. I love the terrain. I love how you have a nice stable road to work with, and the second you go off that, it bumps you all over the place. You know, it really does, you know, kind of reward you for exploring as well with some really stunning views. So I do definitely advise you to sort of get out and wander around, see what you can find, and have an explore. So there we go. That is Emerald Valley Logging. Didn't expect this to be live at all. I just logged in this morning to pick up and get yesterday before starting recording Mustang Valley. And there it is. You know, sitting there waiting for me in the mod list. So get out there, download it, give it a try, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.